Following footage may be disturbing for some viewers. Nature is unforgiving. It cares for no one, whether apex predator or docile prey. And some of them are just the worst parents ever. So here are some animals who got the rough end of the stick. A trail camera in southern Illinois captured footage of this white-tailed buck. It was walking in a remote area, and this possibly happened because of a predator, although nothing can be said for sure. This gives us a glimpse of how scary and unforgiving nature can be. Leaking giraffe. This bittersweet moment of a unique giraffe who was unable to drink water due to a peculiar condition, causing water to constantly leak from its mouth. This cannot be anything other than a genetic defect. Though battered by nature, this fella has its hopes high. No trunk.
Well, at least it survived.
Yeah, but for how long?
In a strange video, an elephant calf was found roaming the wilderness with no trunk. Not much is known as to why the elephant didn't have a trunk. Some say it was a crocodile, and some say it's a birth defect. It is extremely difficult for an elephant to survive in the wild without it, as there it will be very difficult for it to drink water. Yet somehow this one is still surviving and living with its herd.
Oh, look how his ears.
He makes it work.
Hyena aftermath. He was captured in the wild trying to survive in an environment where it's hunt or be hunted. What could have caused this? Experts said that its condition was either caused by a lion or a clan rivalry, but it could also be a birth defect. Otherwise, there would be marks on his back. Well, whatever the reason may be, it is heartbreaking to see such a sad sight. Jawless alligator.
It's missing basically its entire top jaw.
An explorer came across an alligator with the top half of its jaw missing. I know how the sight must feel like, but it is more fascinating to see the strength of an alligator, that despite its current condition, it is still alive, and seems rather well. But here is another shocking fact. The alligator was missing its right eye too. The unusual features made the alligator appear more menacing and threatening.
What's incredible is this gator looks relatively healthy.
Bullseyes, elephant. A female elephant was found in Africa with the most unusual appearance. Considering she is a queen elephant, it means that she leads the herd, so it makes sense that she is unbothered by her situation. No wonder why elephants are one of the strongest animals in the world. Tangled deers. A man stumbled upon two deers tangled in the fence's wiring. He walked over with wire cutters and carefully managed to cut one of the deers loose, and it took off back into the forest. However, rescuing this one was a bit trickier, as it was jumping around all over the place. But eventually, it exhausted itself, which allowed the man to free it. Half fish. This may seem strange, but I have a collection of clips for you of fish living with only half of their, former selves. Take a look at this one. It was still swimming along. And then there is this video of a fisherman's catch. This was done by a shark. And there are many other examples like this, and this, of nature treating fishes unfairly. Lion spasm.
Well, you
There he is.
Be quick with your up windows if you...
The lion was exhausted after chasing wildebeest, but out of nowhere, he started convulsing. Thankfully, near the end of the video, it stopped, and the lion took a big sigh of relief. These events in lions are pretty uncommon, so the reason behind this one could be extreme dehydration and the fact that it had just chased after its prey.
I've never seen that before.
It does look a bit different.
See less lion. 2 divers came across a chilling sight when they found a sea lion, with its tail entirely missing. It was swimming in the ocean when one of the divers offered the sea lion a fish as a nice gesture. Most likely it survived a shark, and although it was alive, having your tail completely bitten off is not something I would consider a plus. Snake mistake. What happened to this python will shock you to your core. It had the duiker in its mouth, but the horns of the prey went through the serpent, which is why it was struggling, and that is much worse than having a fishbone stuck in your throat. Crooked deer. Which started like a normal event turned out to be a terrifying experience. The deer stood in front of the camera for some time before running away. It left the viewers baffled as to what happened with it and what it encountered that left it looking like that. Snake versus turtle. The snake decided to hunt down a tortoise and thought it would make an easy meal out of it. But this massively backfired on the serpent as it got stuck inside the shell. It started rolling around just to get out of it. Eventually, it managed to do so and slithered away. Whether it's turtles or tortoises, snakes best leave them alone. Unlucky calf. Calf was most likely looking for its mother, but found the worst predator on the planet. Nature was not on its side today, but I guess that the circle of life? A pride of lion was out to make an easy meal out of this zebra. It looked like the lioness almost had him, but the help arrived, and here comes the mother. What a kick. The message was received by the predator as she helplessly stared in absolute shock. The poor buffalo got separated from its herd. It was calling out to its mother in desperation. But the pleas were heard by none other than a young lion who was about to take advantage of the situation. The mother arrived just in time and sent the lion running back to where he came from. Worst parent. You know how storks are always shown to carry little ones. In reality, these birds should be known for dropping them. Female storks are pure believers in the survival of the fittest. They choose the smallest and the weakest as a test subject and give them a free trip to the ground. If the child flies, it means it passed the test. If not, then rest in peace. This is because the mother chicken's out to provide the necessary sustenance to her chicks. Tell me in the comments, if you had to be reincarnated as one of these animals, which one would you pick? Parasite blanket. This unfortunate bee got covered with parasites. A large quantity of these parasites or larvae latched onto the insect, but these parasites aren't feeding on the host. They just hitched a ride, unfortunately. Their weight was too overwhelming for the bee. Story of Junior. This is the emotional story of Junior. He was born with a genetic defect that took away his ability to use his hind legs properly. He struggles to do daily tasks, but his brothers try to help him whenever they can. Although he struggles to remain with his pride, his sheer will remains unbroken. However, his mother knows this cannot go on for much longer. Nature can be absolutely heartbreaking at times. Father don't. For hippo calves, danger is often closer to home, and it usually comes from none other than their parents. In 2019, a photographer caught this now viral photo of a father not really accepting the calf, and there have been other numerous incidents of the same thing happening. Why they do it, is not certain due to the limited information because of the unpredictable nature of hippos. In any case, 0 out of 10 for hippo fathers. Bad mother. Notorious for being bad mothers, cuckoos find parenting to be a bit too much, so they rely on a sneaky tactic by abandoning their eggs in other nests. And they are sneaky because they will swallow the already placed eggs in the nest and place one of their own. This behavior is known as brood parasitism. Now the responsibility of her egg falls onto whomever the nest belongs to. This imposter chick hatches and grows up earlier than other eggs and forces them out of the nest. Burying beetle. For being such small critters, beetles have a rather fearsome parenting tactic that involves using their own little ones as a source of nutrition. When food becomes scarce for the larvae, they pester their mother by continuously touching her face with their legs. Now sometimes mama listens, but when pestering her a bit too much, she basically gets mad and just eats them. That reminds me, I need to stop doing the same with my mother. Red popcorn. Each female crab lays about 100,000 eggs, and it has to be done at a specific time of the month. The number is big, but you would be surprised to know that only a few of them survive. And one of the reasons behind this low survival rate is this. Look how casually the mother is munching up her kids like red popcorns. The rhino was feeling lucky, so it decided to go up against an elephant. Big mistake. After failing to intimidate, the rhino began the charge, but it didn't work. The elephant responded by coming at it from the sides and knocking nature's juggernaut to the ground, causing it to flee in terror. A lone honey badger was digging a hole, unaware of the pack of wild dogs approaching. It seemed too late for the poor badger. The pack surrounded it, making the escape impossible. But being fearless, the badger stood its ground and kept going after them until it saved itself. Watch as the elusive snow leopard makes its way towards a yak. It creates an uproar, leaving the calf all by itself, or so the predator thought. In the middle of the action, the mother yak challenges the leopard head-on. She flips the leopard in the air, making it run far away from the herd. Race against time. On the 4th of April 2014, the Masai Mara Rangers received a call about a lioness. It was her lower left flank, which was the result of an encounter with a buffalo. The doctors had no time to waste. They immediately got to the location and sedated her. The operation lasted almost 2 whole hours, but it was a success. She soon recovered, but to see the aftermath of a hunt sure is daunting. Goat human. In a secluded village, the discovery of a goat that was born with human features shocked people all over the globe. The way its eyes, nose, and tongue resembled that of a human being was clearly mystifying. The mother had given birth before, but this was a first. Nothing is for certain, but I think it is a natural anomaly, which would definitely create issues for the goat. Frozen deer. I have 3 videos of deer being treated unfairly by nature. So, this clip was taken while the driver was on a freeway and noticed a frozen deer on the side of the road, and recorded this.
Stand your ground. If you have bear pepper spray, use it.
This video shows a deer completely covered in snow. From afar, I am sure someone would mistake it for a boulder, but thankfully, it was alive. And now, what you have been waiting for. I don't have the words to describe what you're seeing right now. Nature shocks us in strange ways. The power of gorillas can and should never be underestimated. It's like watching a UFC match, but without any restrictions. Turns out it was some family altercation. You know how siblings are.
Wow, that is not okay.
You can't even have a peaceful drink out in the wild because of ambush predators like this. This crocodile made a huge mistake trying to take down a prey 20 times its size. The giant lifted the croc out of the water almost completely, and to add salt to injuries, made sure it never returned to its watering hole. Two massive alligators go head-to-head on a golf course in South Carolina. These apex predators got into a brawl due to unknown reasons, but were not shy to lock jaws for more than 2 hours. How frustrated do you have to be to do it for this long? Cherry goat. A shocking video was posted on the internet a few years ago of this goat, and you can clearly see what I mean. But it's not exactly as bad as it looks. This extraordinary incident left the locals startled. This anomaly caused quite an uproar in the village, as they had no idea what caused it. Even the social media netizens weren't able to comprehend the mysteriousness of this situation. Got my heart racing, that's for sure. Well, scientists cleared up the air by stating that it's a rare birth defect that happens to 1 in 20,000 goats, and its heart is actually protected by a membrane. Hopping giant.
Amazing. 3 legs.
Another elephant defying the odds. I mean, take a look at this 3-legged elephant captured in Kruger National Park, South Africa. Despite its physical challenges, it continued to thrive against all odds. You would think an animal of that size would struggle with this sort of thing, but not this particular elephant. It is not common for elephants to lose a foot. So, this is definitely a rare sight, although it is rather sad.
Part of this big head, yeah.
Adorable cat. Animal rescuers found this cat on the street in Bracken County. The protectors were surprised to see the animal surviving in such condition. In order to keep this cat safe, certain surgeries are required, which, as you know, are not inexpensive. For now, the cat is left in the hands of fate, and we hope that it will live a long-lasting life with ease. Cute but harsh. They are undeniably cute, and their mothers also find them adorable. For only 12 days, that is. Mother seals let their calves drink as much milk as possible, to the point they gain 5 pounds every day. But that is good, because soon she will abandon them. Reminds me of my father, who also left to get some milk. Anyway, after she leaves them, harp seals have about 8 weeks before they can swim and hunt for food. Until then, they remain on the ice, losing half their body weight due to starvation, and become easy pickings for predators. Self-sustaining. If your female hamster spawns cute little pink hamsters, don't be surprised when you find some, if not all of them, missing. But where did they go? Mommy hamster's stomach? That's where. Oh God. Please let some animals remain cute and innocent. But it is true. She will digest them because she is malnourished after birth, and somebody has got to go. So if you have a female pet hamster, make sure she is well fed and far away from her offsprings. Sibling rivalry. Sibling rivalry usually ends with an exchange of not-so-kind words. But if you're a black eagle, then it ends with your existence. When 2 eagle siblings go at each other, the mother literally just sits and enjoys the show with front row seats. She does not intervene, even if it means losing one of them. 2-legged lamb. A 2-legged lamb was spotted in a Chinese farm in 2015, where it was a surprise to watch a little lamb walking with ease. The locals reported that the lamb took quite some time to learn how to walk and get used to its daily routine with only 2 legs. The local vets also said that the mother gave birth to 2 other lambs before that shows no deformity. But in this case, the lamb might have gotten bitten on its abdomen before giving birth. Or it's just a genetic thing. Taste this. Tongue is a small part that plays a vital role in developing the sense of taste. But what happens when you have a tongue that's too big enough to even fit in your mouth? Well, don't imagine it, because this big bear has a watermelon-like tongue as big as his height. The sad part is that the tongue touches the ground every single second, and it carries germs and dirt you never want to even touch. But here is the good part. Some experts decided to perform a surgery and try to see if they could cure the young bear. The surgery went for 4 hours and went successfully. The animal is now in the recovery rehab and getting ready to get along with its fellow members. Ripped chimpanzee. Some people complain about having too many or too few hairs on their body. But what if you are born with a condition that allows no hair to grow on your body? That's what happened with our next guest, Jamba, who is a chimp born with a rare disease known as alopecia. Due to irregular checkups, Jamba was completely a hairless chimpanzee at the age of 22. Despite having been rejected several times by fellow friends, Jamba still manages to live an active life. He is muscular, though. Professor Pig. Charles Xavier isn't the only cool person on a wheelchair. This pig is no less. Meet this young pig, Crispy Bacon, born with conjoined legs. This little champ is an inspiration for all the young and old people out there who believe their life is bizarre after having to use wheelchairs in their daily routine. This piggy became an overnight star when spotted wheeling right next to others in the daycare center. Cowspiration. The next guest in our list is also a motivation for the ones who feel embarrassed when having to walk with walking sticks. A cow born with deformed legs was thought to live a never-ending sleep life, but there was someone who had other plans. A guy named Jared decided to adopt this cow and take the challenge to make life easy for Angel. He built custom wheels which could fit on the back of Angel and allow her to live a little better life. Duplicated deer. Till now, we have seen animals with 2 legs, 3 legs, or no legs at all. Now is the time to see someone who has an extra pair of legs. This beautiful deer was found in Georgia, born with a rare condition known as dipygus, where half of the body is duplicated, i.e. legs, pelvis, etc. Some experts also reported that this unusual deformity was due to a dog bite. Nevertheless, we don't want this to happen with any animal. Having the right foot size is good rather than trying to fit in a bigger or smaller size. Mr. Stubbs. Big animals or small tails are important for them. But what if you get to witness a predator that has no tail or a prosthetic tail? This giant alligator, known as Mr. Stubbs, lost its tail during a physical activity and was living with no tail at all. The predator was sent to Arizona Rehab Center for several years. Fortunately, some vets came up with the idea of providing a prosthetic tail that would allow the alligator to rule over the pond once again. After 1 year of hard work, Mr. Stubbs was walking and swimming, just like in old days. 2 of Brazil's apex predators go head-to-head on a riverbank. The jag went after the anaconda, but the snake wasn't going to back down without a fight. Jaguar did manage to get in a few good strikes, which were all met with similar ferocity by the snake. But despite a good effort by the anaconda, the jag emerged victorious. 7. Lions were hunting a badger and her cub. They were outnumbered as one of the lions actually managed to grab the cub, but the mother came to the rescue. And this was the moment. The lions knew they messed up. She went after them relentlessly. Confused and defeated, the lions backed away. Two chimpanzees started eating the fruits that the baboons collected. This agitated the alpha baboon, who started throwing hands at them. It knew which one of the chimps was weak, so it kept going after it. After a few minutes, the baboon retreated. A goose accidentally entered a tiger enclosure. As two curious tigers got close, the goose went after them. But the albino tiger wasn't going to back down that easily. It decided to go after the goose again. But surprisingly, the results were the same, and the tiger ran with its tail between its legs. This herd of buffaloes was ambushed by a huge crocodile. As they were crossing a river, the croc managed to grab one of the buffaloes by the nose. But it wasn't the end. The buffalo dragged the croc out of the water until the croc lost the upper hand. A crab caught the eye of this bald eagle, so it decided to eat it. But the crab got a hold of its beak and fought back. The eagle was baffled, and the crab capitalized on it. It started to climb the eagle's face, dragging it into the water. But lucky for the eagle, the crab let go. After a pride of lions had successfully tracked down a herd of buffaloes, they managed to capture one of them. They were all over it, and just when it looked like all was lost for the prey, the herd came rushing back, throwing the lions in the air and saving their family member. A wild hyena regretted its decision to go after this female donkey. The hyena thought it had the upper hand after grabbing her tail, but the tables turned quickly when she started biting the hyena's ear. She was ragdolling the predator left and right and made sure it never messed with her kind again. Three leopards ganged up on a lone badger, surrounding it to make the escape impossible. Once the leopards had the badger by the head and tail, it was all over for it. But the badger started to retaliate. It was uncertain who would win. Then the victor emerged from the bushes. The hawk infiltrated the coop through a small hole, and it set its eyes on a defenseless hen. It looked to be the end for her, but then came the savior, the rooster. He stomped on the hawk and used his beak to keep it down, giving time to hen to save herself. A hungry honey badger spots a mole snake, and a battle for survival ensues. Both are locked in, and both know of each other's weaknesses. The head. The snake gets an early strike, but the badger answers with the same bite. As the snake tries to slither away, the badger finishes the battle. A chameleon remains still, hoping to blend in with its surroundings when a snake gets close by. Unfortunately for it, the snake zeroes in on it and strikes rapidly. The chameleon puts up a fight, making itself look larger to deter the snake. It works, and the snake retreats. This snake made the grave mistake of infiltrating a beehive. The bees responded by covering their entire body. The snake got stuck in the hole and didn't have any seconds to spare. It somehow managed to get itself out and tried to make its escape. However, it looked a bit too late for it. Watch how this wildebeest uses his best tactic to fend off this hungry pride. He managed to hook one of the lionesses with his horns and lifted her off the ground with ease. Pretty sure she did not like that one bit. They narrowly escaped one another. Now that's not something you see every day. Moment captured by kayakers shows a seal taking down a shark. The seal must have been on revenge mode because that is some power. A simple mistake, and look what happened to it. This caiman was trying to evade an electric eel, but accidentally went over it, which resulted in the caiman receiving 600 volts through its body. Now, what has this baboon gotten itself into? Its members could only look on as the crocodile gripped one of its limbs. Surely that must be it for the monkey, but always expect the unexpected. Too late to climb the tree. This monkey got taken away by this massive crocodile. And look how it moved that gigantic boulder with so much ease. No wonder the monkey lost this fight. Subscriber pick. Polar bear versus an orca? Who do you think will win? Although not a single interaction between the two has ever been filmed, with both their unique traits, let me know in the comments who you think will emerge victorious.